data type, we have basically a check functions defined. What we are referring right now are various types of constants. So param closer, block closer, these are used internally most of the time. You will rarely have any need for that. Okay, so I was talking about the check type. So when you have a data and you want to verify if it is a string or a function or an object or a number or a boolean, you can call this function. And this is used quite often. So check type, remember check type starts with C small. It's actually a deviation from the standard, but that is how it has been introduced. So it is still like that. So check type dot string, and string is a function. So it's pretty inverse of the syntax of the standard, but that's how it is. And string accepts a parameter, and that parameter has to be the data, and then it returns true or false. So it has a secondary function called isType, which you will not use that because you will have to pass two parameters in that. So you already have a named parameters on check type, named functions on check type directly for those. So is equal to. So is equal to is also something that we call occasionally, and there will be is equal also. So is equal to number and value are basically getting matched. Number to value is being matched. So value is being parsed, and then that is actually matched with the given number. Is equal to is not very oftenly used. Is equal is being used, and when you have to compare, say, two entity objects, then you can call this function. So api.common.is equal, passing two data points, and then it will decide whether it is same or not. Now for objects, it will decide on few things, but for entities, if both are entities, then it will match the three properties: I underscore ID, category, and app underscore ID. If these are matching, then it will conclude that these are entities and both entities are same. Otherwise, it will look for various other things for equality check. So this is quite convenient. We use it quite often. Is equal. API.common.is equal. Accepting two parameters for sure. Third parameter is not mandatory, and it is about logging. So if you want to have if you feel that your objects are not compared correctly, then you can say log equal to false. The third parameters pass it as true, which is by default false. And then you will get a lot of console logs also printed. So it will tell you where I found the difference, where I didn't find the difference, and all that. Is also used occasionally. Suppose you have a text, a long text, and then you say, I want to remove spaces primarily. Then I can basically do that, and I can substitute it with some substitute that I want. Now, this is used, say you have a name which is a multi-word thing, and then you want to create a ID or system ID kind of thing where you want to replace it all the spaces by underscore and anything which is not a letter or a number, that also any special character basically or space characters, replace it with underscore. So such conversions will be done on a string. HTML text and you want to sanitize, it will basically do this. This sanitize function is for that. So if you have a HTML construct, HTML source code, and if it has a few things which are not to be stored because it can lead to problems. So it will look for some allowed tags and allowed attributes. Only these things will be permitted. Now, where will this be used? Now, this sanitize thing is automatically used right now on your multi-line text editor, because multi-line text editor allows you to simply put any HTML. So this sanitize is automatically applied there. If you put anything other than the given tags here, permitted tags, those will be discarded. You are accepting HTMLs somewhere and you do not want key things to go in, you can use this function, sanitize, and then accept. And finally, it actually calls a sanitizer API that is inbuilt. If you want to add a script tag dynamically uh, or add us and add all those things, you can use this add script. Occasionally used, but not quite common. So it is going to basically add a script tag. So this will be useful in some cases where you want to add a third party library which you want to use for some reason. For example, you want to use jQuery, which is hosted somewhere. You can add a reference to that, which is generally not permitted default, but you can add to your screen through this add script.